Let's do a SQL question. I'm gonna do medium level. Pick one. So let's stop the timer. Reset timer. Let's do it. Define interview candidates. So I'm gonna have two tables. One table about contest, contain contest ID. Yeah, and each contest ID you're gonna have like medal and gold, silver, bronze. Gonna contain user ID for for each medal. It's guaranteed that any consecutive contests have consecutive ID and that no ID is skipped. That's good. And users, you have user ID in mail. I assume that's the email address of that user and then the name of that user, I guess. Yeah. So I'm supposed to write the solution to report the name and mail of all interview candidates. It sounds kind of weird to say interview candidate because it looks like anyway. Interview candidates and the user is an interview candidate if at least one of these two conditions is true. User won any medal in 3 or more consecutive contests. User won the gold medal in 3 or more different contests. Return the result table in any order. Okay, let's see the example. So as it says, contest ID is consecutive, and you have user ID for each medal. And in the output, I'm supposed to return those 4 people. The reason is Sarah won 3 gold medals. Sarah has a user ID 1, 2, 3. Yes. So we include her in the result table. Why do we have to do it? Any 3 or more, this is not consecutive. So Sarah satisfying the second condition, which is gold medal 3 or more, 3 or 4 times, 3 or more times. It doesn't have to be consecutive. And Bob's ID is 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has to be gold medal. Any medal 3 or more consecutive. So where is it? Yeah, here. So the Bob has 2, 2, 2, 3 consecutive. Bob has 3 consecutive. Okay. Note that he also won a medal in 3 other consecutive contests. Did he? Oh, right. So the first 3 contests also he has 2, 2, 2. Okay. In Alice, it should be kind of same. So maybe I don't have to repeat that. In Sarah's case, Sarah. Yeah, I think here number 3 you have 3 consecutive, and quartz user ID quartz is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Okay. There's a follow-up question. What if first condition changed to be any medal in any or more consecutive contests? How would you change your solution to get the interview candidates? Imagine N is a parameter to stored procedures. That's kind of more than the basic SQL syntax. So I think I'm gonna save that for later. A second following question is: some user may not participate in some users may not participate in every contest, but still perform well in the ones they do. How would you change your solution to only consider contests where the user was a participant? Suppose the registered user of each contest is. I don't understand this following question. So I'm gonna just save those 2 questions for later, and then I'm gonna just focus on just solving this requirement. So I think the second condition, I think it sounds easier than the first one. So what I'm supposed to do is I'm gonna just uh, get the user IDs. No, but before that, I'm gonna group by user ID inside group gold medal and count the number of rows. And I'm gonna filter the user ID who has a count which is more than or equal to 3. And I can put that to the where statement when I pull this data. It's like user ID is in that special user ID. I can get those data. And at least one of these conditions is true, so I can use where or to for the second condition. And I think the question is the first condition. So it looks like, what should I do? User won any medal in 3 or more consecutive contests. What should I do? What should I do? 3 or more consecutive. Yeah, honestly, for the first condition, I don't know what to do. I mean, I think I'm kind of confused because there's a bunch of medals. So I think the first step is just don't worry about to have 3 different kind of medal. I just focus on one medal. No, maybe that's also a bad idea. So what should I do? Yeah, right. So I think what I have to do is vertically self join. So what I mean is first table going to be contest ID gold medal, and the second table going to be contest ID and silver medal, and third table going to be contest ID and bronze medal, and then I'm going to just union vertically. And then after union vertically, so partition by user ID, right, partition by user ID, I'm going to assign a row number ordered by contest ID. So what I mean is I started to getting confused. So I think what I'm going to have is like 2, 190, 2, 100, 101, 2, 102. So like this place, and then I'm gonna have 2 didn't won any medal, 193. So that's going to be 194, 2, 195, and 2, 196, right? And if I assign row number, partition by user ID, order by contest ID, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6. And if I take the difference, this gonna be 189. This is also 189. This is also 199. 89, but there's a gap here, so this is going to be 190. This is also going to be 190. This is also going to be 190, right? So after this, right after this, I'm gonna group by user ID and this difference column, and group by those 2 columns. count the number of rows, and if the number of rows is more than 3 or equal to 3, that means there was a consecutive 3 or more was happening for that user, even if there's a multiple consecutive sequence. So I just do that and then try to get user ID who has a row count of more than or equal to 3, so that I can get the list of user ID who meets this condition. So I'm gonna make a bunch of CTEs, and then finally, when I just based on users table, and then put 2 where conditions to this user ID meeting these 2 extracted special user ID list. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Well, I think I'm going to just start from the easier one, which is the second one. Okay, so I'm gonna make CTE table, and that should be contest table, and I'm gonna group by gold medal, right? And then I can do, this is my SQL, I'm gonna do having, I'm gonna just count the number of rows, and if this is more than or equal to 3, I can get those gold medal. Just for clarity, I'm gonna rename it to gold user ID, and then maybe just take a look at quickly to check whether things are okay. So if I output this, it should be fine, but so I can get user 1, and 1 is correct. 1 is only the user ID who got 3 or more gold medals. So this is working fine. So now I'm going to the first condition, CP2 as, this is a little bit complicated because I have to do some kind of row number. So select from contests, right? And then, but before that, I have to do the union, right? So yeah, let's do union. So I'm gonna say gold medal, and just rename it to user ID, and I'm gonna get contest ID, and this is gonna be union to, let's copy this, this one, and then the last one is this one, and I'm gonna rename this one to silver, and this one gonna be the bronze. And I think it should be fine, but just be careful. I can quickly take a look. Think so. Okay. It's vertically combined. So based on this, the next step is row number operation. So select from CP2, and this time I'm gonna get user ID, and I have to do some kind of complicated taking the difference, right? So I'm gonna say this is something like group ID. So what I have to do is to taking the difference by contest ID minus row number over what was that, partition by user ID, and order by contest ID, And this difference works like a group ID. So as group ID, and let's check that. So select everything from CT2, 3. And maybe this time I can order by user ID and group ID, right? It's not working. Syntax is wrong. Partition by context ID. Where did I make a mistake? Where did I make a mistake? Yeah, just typo. Partition by, right? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have group ID, so based on this, what I can do is um, um, yeah, so based on this, I'm gonna have CT4. So from CT3 and group by user ID and also group ID, right? And then I can use having again, and a condition will be count row, and this is more than three or more, and I try to get those user ID. Let's do that one by one. So before going to the final answer, I'm going to just check that one by one. So what we have this is, yeah, because you have multiple group ID per user ID, so I think I can just make it distinct. So I can have 235, and 235 should be correct. Sarah, no, not Sarah. Bob, yes, Bob is 3 consecutive. 3, Alice also 3 consecutive, and Quartz is user ID 5, so this is correct. Yeah, so for now, I've got all the special user ID, so I can safely get user data. So what we want is name and mail. Should I order something? It's any order. So the user ID I can use is user ID is in, select user ID from which table, which is I think just normal CTE, or user ID is in. Select user ID from should be CT4. And I think this should be the no. Yeah, you don't need to have is. Well, I don't know why I put is. Not working. Why is that? So somehow I got Percy. Oh, why is that? Percy is user ID 4. Hmm? That's weird. I should not get 4. Here I didn't get 4. And here I didn't get 4. Is it typo again? User ID is in CT and CT4. What? What? Where did I make a mistake? So this is supposed to be only. Why am I getting everything? Why am I getting everything? Oh, am I making like simple mistake? What did I wrong? Is it because I'm not using the right name? Really? Is it like that? Oh, yeah, but I don't know why the query was work. It's supposed to be throwing error because I was using the column which doesn't exist. I don't know why it worked, but um, yeah. So now it's working. If I run that for the case, okay, it gave me answer. So yeah, this question I was kind of slow. I spent 20 minutes. I think I feel like I spent too much time for medium level SQL question, and also I actually don't know how, I don't have a quick insight to create the stored procedures as n as parameter. And also, I didn't understand the second follow-up question. Yeah. I also don't feel like I want to do more after spending 10 minutes. So I feel like I'm going to stop here. But basically, what I did was, I just created a bunch of CTE using the group by having to extract a user ID which is meeting a particular condition in this question. And I think the most difficult part of this question was like this kind of consecutive idea, but I tried to solve that using union and also taking the difference between roll number and some ID to create the ID, another ID, and then based on another ID, we can do a group by having. Um, so basically, um, that's what I did for this question.